Welcome to ELLAMAS day 19, and it was just a matter of time that I talk about the worst makeup of 2024. Most of these I actually do not have anymore. I just decluttered them right away. I do have a list here, and 4 of these items I still have here in my collection. So I would say let's just go through them. I'm pretty sure that I missed some because I did not really document this. I think I started writing down my ideas for worst makeup of 2024 in October. So for 2025, my resolution is I will write it down earlier so that we have a full list. But right now I have 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12. I have 14 items actually, so I think it's not that bad. And to be honest, if there are less items of that I would call the worst items of 2024, that's actually a good thing because that means I did not waste my money. Let's start with the Armani Luminous Silk Aqua Highlighter. And I just can't believe that a brand that is capable of doing the luminous silk blushes that completely made me declutter my Rare Beauty blushes because these are just so much better, was able to create this bullshit here. This highlighter, I had it in the lightest version. I thought might be like the Dior Forever Glow, the liquid highlighter in the shade, I think Pearl is the lightest. Let me grab it for a second. Pearly is the lightest. I thought that this Dior highlighter is something similar to that, but oh no, 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 no. It is so much worse. It is just so fucking bad. And believe it or not, it's actually invisible on the skin. There is like nothing. No shimmers, no specks, no sparkles, no metallic sheen. It's just translucent water. It looks like nothing. And that nothing lifts the makeup. So absolutely fail. I don't think that this is a big surprise to you that the Danessa Myricks Lightwork 6 is on this list. And at this point in my collection, I decluttered it because I just couldn't stand it anymore. I tried it a couple more times after my review, but it just doesn't do it. It is so nothing like the Lightwork 5, and I know that a lot of people appreciated the textures of the Lightwork 6 for being not so like flaky, for not being so loud, for not being so intense, but honestly, when I buy a Lightwork palette from Danessa Myricks, I want to have that specialty. I want to be wowed. I want to have the duochrome, the multi-chrome, the shifts, the scattered light effects. I want to have the most special palette ever. But that Lightwork 6 was the most basic bitch non-fuckable palette ever, and I don't want to see it anywhere near my collection ever again. Then we have one of the few fails of the Asian beauty market. This is the Anthemy Butterfly Backlight palette, or Backlight Butterfly, whatever. That was a complete fail. I have a video on this. All the looks were just shit. They were super duper patchy, so insanely badly formulated. It was unbelievable that this is actually C Beauty. But Anthemy listened to a lot of the feedback people gave. There were a lot of people who liked that, surprisingly. I was shocked too. But there were also a lot of people who had the same opinion as me. And the good thing is Anthemy is quite a small brand in China. It is, I think, from a beauty blogger or from a makeup artist. Let me check, 1 second. It's from a beauty blogger, and they just took the feedback so serious, and they came back with a new collection later this year. I think somewhat at the end of summer, and I bought 3 out of the 4 palettes that came in this collection, and all 3 were a banger. The quality was so different from what I have experienced from this shit here. I am really happy that I gave Anthemy a second chance, and I just can highly recommend the newer palettes. You can of course get the new Anthemy palettes on Look Healthy store. Make sure you save some money with my code ELLAGRAM for 12% discount. Another eyeshadow palette. This is the Dolce Gabbana I Dare You or something palette, and oh my god. This was a complete impulse purchase. I didn't plan to really buy this, but I don't know what it was, but I was scrolling on the Dolce & Gabbana makeup department on the website, and I just wanted to try, and I was like, you know what, when I'm just ordering, let me just try this one too. And oh, this was a mistake. First of all, that is it blue? Kind of. I think that like the four shimmers in the middle, that lower one, this light blue, little bit of white, little bit of dark blue, mixed chromey shade. This shade comes broken in like 80% of the time, so something is wrong with the formula there. I was lucky, mine didn't came broken, and the quality was just bad. Bad, 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 bad. It was squishy. It was like breaking up on the lid, and it was a shame actually, because the mattes, oh, the mattes, they were doing it. They were really, really good. I ended up giving away this palette to someone else who wanted to try this eyeshadow. I don't even know if they have it anymore, but I think they decluttered it too. I mean, they should, but maybe they do like it. I mean, what I like or what I don't like is maybe something that you like. So, no offense here, but I personally thought that this palette was an absolute shit. And that black shade here was a cream shade. No, it was not a cream, it's a wax. It's awful. Then we have the Glamlite Bake and Set powder. Here, I want to mention this specific shade. This is translucent, because the pink shade, the Strawberry Shortcake, is absolutely amazing. You saw my powder ranking. It even made it to the top 5. But the translucent one is not translucent. It's straight up yellow, and that made it unusable for me. So why is this now on the list of worst products? Because I think the product is not bad. It is because of the shade. If you are not able to give us a true translucent shade, then just skip a translucent shade and just call it light yellow. These lipsticks could have been it. The Made by Mitchell Mattitude lipsticks could have been the most amazing matte neutral lipsticks that we could wish for, because concealer lips are having a comeback these days. But these, horrible. Once I applied them on my lips, they started to crackle down, and honestly, I was quite sure that if I would wear them more than 10 minutes, I would be able to like peel them off, because they dried to one layer. It was horrible. The shades were a little bit off, so I was very, very disappointed in this. I tried my very best, but I couldn't make them work for me. They were just too dry. Oh, the Charlotte Tilbury fragrances. Charlotte, what have you thought? I tried More Sex, Joyphoria, and I think I had Cosmic Power. Joyphoria and More Sex, I ordered one of the little minis that she offered that were like $30 instead of 150 for the full size. And I think Cosmic Power was the one that I got as a tester for free. The thing is, both Joyphoria and More Sex, after a couple times of wearing them, I really liked them. They were not my favorite, but I didn't mind wearing them. It was a good time, honestly, but the more I used them, the more I wore them, the more I was disgusted by them. So I ended up actually decluttering both of these. That Cosmic Power was, oh god, just the thought of it makes me gag. Charlotte, stay with makeup. Stay with skincare. Although I don't like the Charlotte Tilbury skincare, but a lot of other people do. These fragrances, not it. Another Dolce & Gabbana item that was also from the same order that I placed with the palette in. This is the Sweet Fig not eyeshadow, the face powder. Honestly, whatever this is, it's nothing, because there is absolutely no color payoff. I tried to use this as a setting powder. Nothing happened. Everything stayed sticky. Then I tried to use this maybe as a finishing powder, like I use my Hourglass powders or the Guerlain Meteorites. Nothing. It just does not work. Then I tried to scrape it off. There came things off, but they just felt like goopy little chewing gum, you know. It was so weird. So I ended up decluttering this. I wish this would have worked, but it didn't. I can't believe that it was just this year that I tried these monstrosities. These are the Glamlite, the Nightmare on Elm Street palettes, and this was the order that made me lose any trust with Glamlite. So if you want to see this, there is a long story video. I don't want to say the story again, but these palettes here were absolute shit. I thought, ooh, an all red eyeshadow palette, that's just so nice. The green, okay, is a little bit too swampy, but I can make it work. And to my surprise, the green was so much better than the red one. But overall, this whole collection honestly was really not it. But especially the eyeshadow palettes were complete fails. They were patchy, they didn't blend at all, they were so too pigmented and then not pigmented at the same time. The shimmers had literally no payoff and everything just looked so bad. And last but not least, from the products that I don't have here anymore, the Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch powders. How is it possible that a brand who has the Easy Bake powders, which are probably the most famous under eye setting powders, the most like the best selling under eye setting powders in the world, I assume. How is it possible that they fuck up a formula like this? These were so dry, and I really tried my best until the last bit to make at least cherry cake work. But I couldn't. I just gave up then at some point. It even hard panned. The powder had a solid surface on top because it hard panned so bad. There was nothing really comparable to the original Easy Bake powders that are just so fucking good. I don't understand this because I really like the idea of having the loose Easy Baked powders in a pressed version for just some people with traveling, for example. Or sometimes on some days I just don't feel like using a loose powder. I want to have something quick pressed, but not these for sure. Now let's move on to the last 4 items that I call the worst eyeshadows, the worst makeup products in 2024. And sadly, 3 of them are actually eyeshadow palettes, so let me grab the first. This is Beaky Beam. This is the black Coffin eyeshadow palette that was sent to me in PR by Beauty Mold. So you see, just because someone sends me stuff does not mean that I love it, because I chose this with during a collab video that I did with Beauty Mall, and this was part of the package that I chose myself, basically. I had an eye on these palettes for quite a long time. They have the black Coffin, and then there's also the white Coffin. First of all, I was very disappointed because this is what the black Coffin looks inside. You see this black eyeshadow with the shining neon-y bee on top? I thought this is a black eyeshadow with some shimmery powder like pressed in the center, and then when you swirl it you have just this mix, and that the shimmer is throughout the complete pan. No. It's just dusted on top. So this is basically just a matte black eyeshadow. Let's take a look here inside, and while honestly this is just a very boring neutral eyeshadow palette with some specks of shimmer in there, the problem is the dark shades are insanely patchy. It's impossible to get an even look with this, and the 1, 2, 3 shimmers in here are so hard pressed. They don't go on well. They go on like satins, like mattified metals. I don't know if that description makes even sense, but they are everything but shimmery. That one here is supposed to be a duochrome from like silver to this weird neon-y matte, not matte, the weird neon-y green that I actually wanted to have, but no. It just does not work. The best shade in the palette is this one here, because this is one of these snowy shades that are very shimmery. But honestly, the eyeshadow palette is just such a disappointment, and I'm still in the preparation of my ranking, but I think this This might be because of the quality even on the last place. I'm not sure, because there are some others that I would call like last place, but they're not the worst eyeshadow makeup in, or like the worst eyeshadow palette in 2024 for some other reasons. Then we have a lip product, and I said it in some other videos beforehand, the Isamaya Beetle lip lac. The thing is, I had such high expectations for this shade because I just love Isamaya. By the way, I'm wearing Isamaya right now here on my lips. I'm wearing MAC Root for Me lip liner all over the lip, all filled in. And then I'm wearing the Isamaya Black Veil lip thing. The lip lac. I forget the name sometimes. I want to say the skin lac, but it's the lip lac. And Beetle is basically a black or black and purple lip gloss with specks of purple throughout. The problem is, let me swatch this for you. First of all, here on my hand, oh, look at how freaking smooth this goes on. Look at how opaque it looks and how delicious it is. Oh, the black specks. But on your lips, it's patchy, it's see-through. The lips have a different texture than your skin. The lips are like slightly wet constantly, while my hand hopefully isn't. So the texture will be changing because of that different underground. It goes into the lines of the lips, it bleeds outside of the lips, and the only way that I was able to make these work was with a black lip liner and the MAC black lipstick on underneath. Oh my god. Then applied this on top. It was good, but after like 20 minutes, it was bleeding around my lips. Oh, it was so bad. And it even starts on my hand. Oh my god. Are you able to see? I hope so. How this bleeds into the skin structure of my hand. Like, come on. This should not happen, Isamaya. And that comes from somebody who is praising her and who's actually thinking of buying the shoes that will launch tomorrow. I still do not want to give up on Beetle, because I kind of say, well, maybe it's just me because I do not have perfect lips that Isamaya does, but in one of the promo posts of Isamaya, it was looking like that too. But I still hang on to it because I kind of want to have it work on me. Oh, I'm so desperate. Now I have two eyeshadow palettes, and one of these palettes will not be included in the ranking because it's an arrangement of singles. And the other palette, again, it's the same as with Beaky Beam. I don't know if it will make it to one of the last places, but be sure it will be like the lower 10 places, something like that. Because some palettes are lower in the ranking because of quality, some are lower because of color story. That is a big factor in my ranking too. But a palette that I don't even initially know why I bought this, because just from looking at it, I should have known that this is nothing that I will completely use. And I'm talking about the Bella Beaute Bar Melted Mattes. The Molten Metals and the blush palette from this collection, these one I actually use. These are really nice. But this is the 20 pan matte palette. First of all, can we just all agree on the fact that Bella Beaute Bar has to calm the fuck down? Please do not flood us with any more eyeshadow palettes. We can't take this. And when I just look at this palette, honestly, I should have known that I will not like this, but I wanted to try this anyway because it just looked challenging to me. The problem is the matte here on top, the two rows of neutrals, they are really good. They are solid, they are fine, they are usable and nice. But the two rows here of neons, of colorful, they are bad. They're chalky, they're thin, they're patchy, they're not buildable, they're super hard to blend, and they just do not bring the joy. I have a full video on the eyeshadow collection where I created a couple looks and I was really not happy with these, and this was on my, well, should I declutter it or not, in the past weeks and month a couple times. Honestly, I will probably end up decluttering some eyeshadow palettes after the ranking because some of these I just keep for the ranking. And last but not least, the arrangement of singles that I call one of the worst launches of 2024. And not only that, it's also the last product that I purchased from this brand, and since that, I haven't been really tickled because the brand is just constantly not delivering, and I am talking about Odin's Eye. These are some of the new singles that came out in spring, I think, of this year. There were some concerns and some issues with the singles that they brought out in 2023. I personally bought my singles very, very late in 2023 and I have no problems with them. So I assume there was a reformulation going on in silence. And because I had such great experience with the other singles from 2023, I thought, let's buy a bunch of these new ones. I have all shimmery ones. So there are 12 mattes too. These I haven't tested. I can only talk about the metallic ones. And these shades look delicious, yes, but some of these shades, and I am specifically talking about Jade and Loki? Freya. It's Jade and Freya. I just had to double check because sometimes I label the palettes different on the back. But yeah, it is Jade and Freya. They're horrible. They are so squishy. There is so much oil and binding component in them. I'm waiting for them to leak, but they won't. But they are just, I hope you can see this, but they feel like gum, It's really, really ugly, but I now can't stop touching them. And the worst thing is, not all of the eyeshadows are like that here. Some of them are really, really pretty and good. Like, for example, down here, this is Modi. Such a pretty light copper shade. Then we have this one here. This is Matthew. This is insanely beautiful, same as Loki here. It is really, really pretty, but the fact that there is such inconsistency in the eyeshadow formula throughout this collection, to me, makes it just unenjoyable as a whole. Now I'm of course curious, what are your worst items of 2024? Please let us all know down below so that we can all skip them or just go through the world with more an open eye on these. Thank you so much for watching this. Make sure to subscribe so you do not miss out any of the other ELLAMAS videos. If you're bored or you maybe missed some, there is an ELLAMAS playlist link down below. And if you subscribe, and you definitely should, because there are still more ELLAMAS videos to come. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.